Afternoon class, how are you today? That's great. Before we formally start our discussion, may we call on our class president to lead us in prayer. Before you take your seats, arrange your chairs properly and organize yourselves. If you're done, you may settle down. For your attendance, please stay present if your name is called. Okay, so everybody is present. Very good, class. So before anything else, I just want to remind you our classroom rules. Please read. So those are our classroom rules. Please keep this in mind all throughout our discussion. So today we are going to have another lessons, but before that, let us first have a recap of our discussion yesterday. So can you still remember what we have discussed yesterday? Very good. So what is Pythagorean theorem? Anyone? Excellent. The Pythagorean theorem relates to the three sides of a right triangle. It states that c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. C is the side that is opposite of the right angle, which is referred to as the hypotenuse. A and B are the sides that are adjacent to the right angle. So I hope you really understand what Pythagorean theorem is. I guess you are now ready for our next lesson. To start our lessons, let's have a short drill regarding our topic for today, which is the zero, negative, and rational exponent. Every student who got the correct answer will have a surprise after the discussion. So let's begin. So simplify the following expression. Number 1, b raised to 5 times b cubed. Anyone? Very good, Eugene. So the answer is b raised to 8. Give him a round of applause, please. Okay, second, r squared over s raised to 4 times cube. Anyone? Okay, the answer is r raised to 6 over s raised to 12. Excellent. Next, number 3, negative 2 raised to negative 2. Anyone? Very good. The answer is 1 over 4. Fourth one, 10m raised to 6 over 2m raised to 10. Very good. The answer is 5 over m raised to 4. So last number, number 5, which is 23 raised to 0. Anyone? Very good. The answer is 1. So our lesson for today is all about zero, negative, and rational exponent. So here are the objectives or the learning goals and targets. The learner should be able to understand and use the rule of zero, negative, and rational exponent. Solve or to simplify and write zero and negative exponent expression in terms of positive exponent. Letter C, perform in simplifying expressions. So our drill earlier is one of the example of expression which is apply our topic for today. I'm going to give another example of expression for you to understand our discussion. Example number 1. h raised to 5 over h raised to 5, wherein h raised to 5 minus 5 is equal to h raised to 0 is equal to 1. So the definition of a raised to 0 from your grade 7, we know that even a raised to m over a raised to n is equal to a raised to m minus n, where m is greater than n. Suppose we want this law to hold even when m is equal to n. Then a raised to m over a raised to m is equal to a raised to m minus m is equal to 0, where a is not equal to 0. But we also know that a raised to m over a raised to m is equal to 1. Thus, we define a raised to 0 is equal to 1, where a is not equal to 0. So, do you understand what zero exponent is? I give you another example. 7 raised to 3 all over 7 raised to 3. Very good. 7 raised to 3 all over 7 raised to 3 is equal to 7 raised to 3 minus 3 is equal to 7 raised to 0, which is equal to 1. Very good. 3 raised to negative 2. For us to simplify this negative exponent, we simply get the reciprocal of it to remove the negative sign. So the reciprocal of 3 raised to negative 2 is 1 over 3 squared. So multiply by itself, which is 1 over 3 times 3 is equal to 1 over 9. So I hope you understand what is negative exponent. So I give you another example. Okay, try to simplify 1 over 3 raised to 3. Very good. The answer is 27. 1 over 3 raised to 3 is simplified. We get the reciprocal of it. So the reciprocal of 1 over 3 raised to 3 is equal to 3 cubed. So when we simplify it, 3 cubed is equal to 3 times 3, 9. Times 3 is equal to 27. Okay, let's give you a round of applause. The definition of a raised to negative n where n is greater than 0. From grade 7, we know that a raised to m over a raised to n is equal to a raised to m minus n where a is not equal to 0. But we also know that a raised to 0 over a raised to n is equal to 1 over a raised to n. Thus, we define a raised to negative n is equal to 1 over a raised to n, where a is not equal to 0. In grade 7 and in previous activities, you have encountered and simplified the following. Positive integral exponents, which is 3 squared is equal to 9, 2 raised to 4 is equal to 16, and a cubed. Second, negative integral exponent, which is 3 raised to negative 2 is equal to 1 over 9. 2 raised to negative 4 is equal to 1 over 16. And a raised to negative 2 is equal to 1 over a squared. And zero exponent, which is 3 raised to 0, is equal to 1. Now, look at the expression on our screen. What can you observe about the exponents on the given expression? Anyone? The expression on our screen are expressions with rational exponent. So rational numbers are real numbers that can be written in the form of a over b, where b is not equal to 0. Or what we call where a and b are integers and b is not equal to 0. Hence, they can be whole numbers, fractions, mixed numbers, and decimals, together with their negative images. Recall from the grade 7 that if n is a positive integer, then nth root of b is the principal nth root of b. We define b raised to 1 over n is equal to nth root of b for positive integers n. For example, example number 1, 25 raised to 1 half. So, do you mind the answer of it, class? So, 25 raised to 1 half is equal to the square root of 25. So, what is the square root of 25, class? Correct, that's 5, not negative 5. So, another example, negative 8 raised to 1 cube. So, what is the answer, class? Okay, negative 2. Paano natin na-derive yung answer na yon? Negative 8 is equal, negative 8 raised to 1 cube is equal to cube root of negative 8. So, naging answer is 2, negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 2 is equal to 4, times negative 2 is equal to negative 8. Correct, class? Another example of rational exponent for you to understand clearly. X raised to 1 over 5. What could be the answer here? Very good. The fifth root of x. So I guess you understand our lessons for today. For you to test your understanding regarding our topic today, let us have a group activity. I will divide you into two. Group 1 will be the girls and the group 2 will be the boys. In this activity, you need to cooperate to solve the expression or to simplify it. Okay, let's start. I will be going to flash the expression on our screen and I will count 1 to 3 for you to start. And if you're done, you can raise your hand and the leader can only raise their hand. Okay, number 1, 8x squared, y raised to 0, z raised to negative 1. Okay. Okay, the answer is 8x squared over z. Correct, boys, you got your 1 point. Girls, bawi tayo. Okay, let's proceed to number 2. 64 raised to 1 cube. Okay, the answer is 4. So, girls, very good. Okay, all 1 na tayo. So, let's proceed to number 3. 1 over 6 raised to negative 3. Okay, very good. The answer is 216. So, girls, paano ba yan? Nalalabangan na kayo ng boys. So, 2-1 ang score. Kaya, let's proceed in number 4. 4 raised to 0 times 5 raised to negative 2 times 6 raised to negative 1 times 100 raised to 0 times 1 over 2 raised to negative 1. Very good. The answer is 1 over 75. So our score is all 2. Last, the one who raised or to answer this will be the winner. Are you ready? Okay, number 5, square root of 3 over 4th root of 3. Okay, 4th root of 27. Girls, wrong. So boys, you can still have a chance to answer that expression. Okay, your answer is 4th root of 3. Okay, the winner is boys. So give yourself a round of applause. For your quiz today, I'm going to flash it on our screen and you can now answer. Using your knowledge of rational exponents, decode the following. The first man to orbit the Earth. In 1961, this Russian cosmonaut orbited the Earth in a spaceship. Who was he? To find out, evaluate the following. Then, encircle the letter that corresponds to the correct answer. These letters will spell out the name of the Russian cosmonaut. Have fun! For your assignment, please copy this. Perform the indicate operation as you complete the puzzle below. Question number 1. How is addition or subtraction of radical related to other concepts of radicals? Number 2. How do you add radicals? Explain. Number 3. How do you subtract radicals? Explain. Number 4. How can you apply these skills to real-life situations? And last, number 5. Did you encounter any difficulties while solving? If yes, what are your plans to overcome those difficulties? So I will check it on the other day. So class, thank you for your cooperation.